Hello, my name is Zivile and I'm a knitter from Lithuania, and I welcome you to Knittinelis, a knitting podcast where I plan to share my knitting journey and all the fun it brings me. And since today it's my very first video, I would like to start by telling you how I even fell in love with knitting and also share my favorite garments I have knitted so far. So grab some yarn and let's get knitting and chatting. So, about my knitting story. It's actually a pretty funny one. I've been very much into crafts my whole life as far as I can remember, and actually my mother is arts and crafts teacher, so I assume I inherited love for handmade things from her. And I've been dabbling in crocheting and beaded jewelry and all other sorts of crafts, but somehow knitting was always very daunting for me. And I still very clearly remember in middle school I had this assignment to knit a sock, and it came out really weird, looking like a, I don't know, maybe hat. It was huge and out of proportions, and since then I decided that knitting must not be for me and I'll stick to crocheting. But fast forward to 2021, and I was stuck at home, as many of us were, because of lockdowns, and I was getting pretty bored and thought that I want to do something productive. And I had some yarn, or I don't remember, maybe I even bought some, and decided to crochet myself a cardigan. And it was Aria cardigan, which I still have and wear to this day. But another good thing was that it led me to Ravelry. I have heard of platform before, but was not really actively using it, and once I found it I couldn't look away and just got lost in all those beautiful sweater patterns. And then I decided that I have to learn how to knit. And around the same time I had wisdom tooth surgery scheduled, and I was really not looking forward to it. I knew I'm gonna be swollen. My whole face is gonna hurt, I won't be able to eat or to do anything actually active. So I thought that it's a good time to learn how to knit and to cheer myself up. I bought some cheap yarn, found a beginner-friendly pattern. I believe it was Louisiana by PetiteKnit. And I just set aside some time, and actually knitting was pretty healing. And since then I've been knitting quite a bit. Now it's almost 3 years, and I have knitted, I think, at least over 60 or 70 garments in this time. So yeah, that's how it all started. I must say, last year I experienced a little bit of a burnout from knitting, because I was trying to make so many Christmas knitted garments, which was really fun, and I was happy to gift them, but I guess this deadline and having quite a lot of projects at the same time was a bit too much. So this year I wasn't so actively into knitting, and really only now in July I started picking up new projects again. To not lose my knitting mojo again, I decided that it would be pretty fun to make some videos and also chat about my progress. Also, I don't have that many of knitting friends. My friends have very different hobbies. And even though they're very supportive and I get a lot of yarn as gifts, which is always super nice, but I feel like they're not that interested in all nitty and gritty of knitting. So this podcast, I hope, is a good space as well to chat about that and find some other people who are really enjoying it as well. And why Knittinelis? It's a bit funny name for this channel, but I thought it's very suiting. So Knittinelis in Lithuanian means kitten, and for quite some time that was my husband's term of endearment to me. But since I started knitting, it had slowly morphed into Knittinelis. So we have Knittinelis, which is kitten, and Knittinelis, which is, I guess, knitting kitten or something like that. So now that you know who I am and why am I here, let's dive into knits. And today I have 5 different knits to share with you. All of them I have knitted in different times in my knitting journey. They weren't all the most recent knits, even though sometimes I do feel like the most recent knits are the most exciting. But these garments that I will show you really have stood the test of time. and it will be 3 sweaters and 2 tops. So let me start with the sweaters, and the very first one is actually what I'm wearing today. It's a Cumulus blouse by PetiteKnit. Well, it says blouse, so not exactly a sweater, but I have knitted it from drops brushed alpaca silk. So it's rather warm, not bulky, probably not suitable for cold winters, but now for summer evening it's really perfect. It's still breathable enough, but what I really love that it's so compact and it fits into any handbag. So as a quick throw-on sweater, I love to have it with me in summer evenings. The second sweater is this beautiful one. It's Salty Days by Veronika Lindberg. And I have knitted it in Regia 6-ply tweed yarn, which is, I believe, meant for socks actually. But I have seen another knitters make sweaters from it, and I really love the texture that it creates with these tiny speckles of different yarn. So I decided to give it a go and try myself making a sweater from it. And so far I'm really loving it. It's not as soft as other sweaters that I have. It's actually pretty rough. But for winter it's amazingly warm, and also what I like that it doesn't pile at all. So it's really easy to take care of. I just wash it, lay it flat, and it doesn't even need depiling or anything like that. So yeah, would definitely knit a second sweater of the same pattern as well. I really love how festive it looks like, and also how fun it was to knit. The third sweater I have to share with you today is a cardigan. It's Bindweed by Ksenia Naidyon, and it's looking like this. It is really a special sweater for me. I have knitted it from yarn that was gifted by my mother, and to be honest, it took me quite a long time to make it. It might be due to the fact that I'm not a very experienced cables knitter, and I think it was maybe second or third garment with cables that I've knitted. And when I'm looking at it, I still can see quite a lot of places where I could have made it neater, or the stitches could have been tighter. But you know, it's a handmade sweater, some imperfections are totally normal, and I still absolutely love how it looks like. And I do get quite a lot of compliments when wearing it as well. It's just a showstopper piece. And the design is written so beautifully. I mean, it is, at least for me, it was rather complex, but I felt like every step of the way there's so many explanations and so many details that really allowed me to enjoy knitting this garment. And I still have a pattern for bindweed shawl, and I still have some leftover yarn, so I hope one day to find time and also knit a beautiful shawl to go with it. Now we're done with all the sweaters, and let's get into tops. I have 2 tops to share with you, and first, and my very favorite so far, is Camisole number 4. Oh, this is the front. Camisole number 4 by My Favorite Things. I have knitted from some local Estonian yarn. It was just regular cotton yarn. Just bought a tiny cone and knitted it all up and forgot about it. But I really love how it wears. It's not heavy. For summertime it's beautiful and really breathable. Has a nice drape to it. So yeah, immediately when I finished this camisole, I was already saying that I want to knit a second one. I didn't have the chance so far, but I would love to have, I don't know, 3 or 4 in my closet, because they're really so versatile, so easy to style, and really love this garment. And the last top I want to share with you today is another cross top by Chrystelle Leo. And while I'm holding it up, maybe it doesn't look like a lot, just a bunch of ribbons, but I will show you how it looks like when I'm wearing it. And I really love the design. It was so simple to knit. I thought that it will be way more complex. I a little bit modified the back, how the ribbons are attached, I really love the end result, and I'm wearing this top quite a lot to festivals or to concerts, you know, where I want to show a little bit more skin and to wear something more interesting. So this top really hits the mark for me. If I would be knitting it again, I probably would choose a different yarn because it's made from merino wool, which I don't think it's a bad choice. I chose it because I wanted something with a little bit more give in the fabric, so it wouldn't be completely rigid like cotton can be. But yeah, in summer I feel like it might be a little bit too hot. It really depends. Since I'm wearing it usually on the night out, then it's fine, and it actually gives this extra layer of warmth. But to wear in the sunshine, maybe it's not ideal. In that case, maybe I could choose some different fiber. Really fun little top to finish today's video with. That's it with my favorite garments today. I hope you liked them as much as I do, and if you want to knit some of them yourself, don't forget everything, all the details are in the description below the video. And if you enjoyed the video, share it with your knitting friends and subscribe. I'm planning to make some more rambly knitting videos, and I already have so many ideas of what I want to chat with you about. So I hope to see you soon, and I wish you happy and very summery knitting time. Bye!